At his peak, he was making $50 million a day. He spent $2,500 a month just on rubber bands to hold his cash. He owned planes, politicians, and private armies. He was the seventh richest man on the planet, and untouchable. But on December 2nd, 1993, the king of cocaine was found barefoot, bleeding, and dead on a dirty, red-tiled roof in Medellín. How do you hunt down a man who literally owns the city he's hiding in? The answer involves a secret U.S. military task force, a rogue vigilante death squad, a custom-built luxury prison, and the most expensive game of hide-and-seek in human history. This is the chaotic, absurd, and bloody story of the capture of Pablo Escobar. And it all starts with a prison that wasn't really a prison at all. To understand how Pablo was captured, you have to understand how he escaped. Let's rewind to 1991. The Colombian government is desperate. Escobar's cartel has basically waged all-out war on the state. Car bombs are going off weekly. So, they make a deal. Pablo agrees to surrender and serve 5 years. The catch? He gets to build the prison himself. They called it La Catedral. But this wasn't maximum security, it was maximum luxury. It had a jacuzzi, a waterfall, a full bar, a giant dollhouse for his daughter, and a soccer field where he hosted professional matches. His guards were his own cartel hitmen. The Colombian police weren't even allowed within 3 miles of the gates. Pablo was still running his global empire. He just didn't have to commute anymore. But in July 1992, Pablo makes a fatal error. He suspects 2 of his lieutenants of stealing from him. He brings them to the prison, and they are never seen again. The public finds out. The media goes berserk. The Colombian government is completely humiliated and realizes they have to move him to a real military prison. They send the army, but Pablo just walks out the back door into the fog. He strolled out with a few bodyguards past the military and vanished into the mountains. The most dangerous man in the world is loose. And this time, nobody is negotiating. The Colombian government forms a specialized elite unit called the Search Block. Their sole mission? Find Pablo, dead or alive. And they aren't acting alone. The United States joins in. The CIA, the DEA, and a top-secret U.S. Army intelligence unit are deployed. They bring state-of-the-art surveillance technology designed to catch the frequency of Escobar's radio communications. But Pablo isn't some amateur. He knows about the tech. He keeps his calls short. He uses human messengers. He sleeps in a different house every single night. For months, the search block kicks down doors, but they're always too late. The coffee is still warm, the bed is still unmade, Pablo is a ghost. But then the game changes. Because Pablo didn't just have the cops after him, he had enemies of his own making. Enter Los Pepes, people persecuted by Pablo Escobar. This wasn't a law enforcement agency, this was a brutal vigilante death squad funded by rivals and made up of Escobar's former enemies. The search block had to follow the law. Los Pepes did not. They didn't just hunt Pablo, they dismantled his life. They burned down his estates, destroyed his assets, and systematically eliminated his allies, lawyers, and protectors. Suddenly, the billionaire kingpin who once owned the country is trapped in suffocating hideouts. His empire is collapsing. His men are gone. His family is in danger. Pablo is isolated, paranoid, and making mistakes. It's late 1993. The manhunt has been raging for 16 months. Pablo is hiding in a middle-class neighborhood in Medellín. He has only one bodyguard left. He is depressed, separated from his family. On his 44th birthday, he celebrates alone in hiding. The next day, the fatal mistake happens. Pablo misses his son, so he picks up the phone and calls his family. Over in a surveillance unit, technicians detect the signal. It's him. Now, normally Pablo is careful, but this time he stays on the line too long. He talks about family, about normal life, about his son. Nearly 5 minutes pass. That is all the intelligence team needs. They triangulate the signal and narrow it down to a single block. A strike team moves in, but the location is still uncertain. They only know he is somewhere on that street. An officer moves forward with a scanner in his hand. Through the static, he hears Pablo's voice. Then he looks up and hears the same voice coming from a nearby house. They have him. The search block breaches the building. Chaos erupts. His last bodyguard tries to escape and is killed instantly. Inside, Pablo realizes everything is over. He drops the phone and runs. He climbs out onto the rooftop barefoot, holding a pistol. He is surrounded. Gunfire erupts. He is hit in the leg and torso. He collapses on the roof. A final shot ends his life. To this day, there is debate over who fired it. Colombian forces claim credit. Vigilantes claim involvement. His family insists he took his own life. But at 3:15 p.m. on December 2nd, 1993, Pablo Escobar's reign was over. The manhunt had cost hundreds of millions of dollars and thousands of lives. It required the combined power of two nations and an illegal shadow army to bring down one man. He built an empire on fear and unimaginable wealth. But in the end, it wasn't strategy or power that ended him. It was a father staying on the phone just a little too long to talk to his son.